Hey everybody, welcome to Not Safe for Wonks. Brandon Buchanan is here. Kennedy is not here. Leia's not here. Rachel's not here. Andrea's not here. All of those people are out of the window for various reasons, and they're all good stories. I mean, Rachel is just literally just on the streets every day, all day. She's obviously very fucking tired. Can you imagine? Atlanta's been one of the epicenters, and I've been keeping in touch with my relatives. I got like a grandpa that says it's actually even worse in Chicago, which seems impossible to understand. It seems hard to imagine, but listen, these are fucking crazy, unprecedented times. So we're gonna be talking for I don't know as long as I have breath in my lungs and feel like this is something that is worth talking about. I got a lot on my chest. If you want to weigh in, log in, advocate, hear your voice heard, debate me, whatever, just leave a comment because our service covers it like pretty well. So we need to talk a little bit about the politics because like we've been talking about the actual current offense of Donald Trump being in his bunker, just completely laid out terms for war against the American people. He feels bad. It's like I said yesterday, he feels humiliated. And why wouldn't he be, given that this guy loves military parades, loves looking at hardware, thinks of himself as an operator, all that bullshit. And yet, when he was faced one day with the actual feelings of the American people, he's locked in a room. And, he's not somebody that likes authority. He's not somebody that likes someone telling him what to do. So when the Secret Service comes down there and it's like, you got to go in this closet and sit your ass down. He don't like that. And why would you? Right. So he's lashing out, and that lashing out, now we can say it's pathetic, but people who have emotional issues and feel weak lashing out, like that's the number one cause of death where I'm from. Just people with emotional imbalance, just like needing to feel tough. So we got to talk about what we're going to do about the consequences of that. But I also want to take a bigger view and talk about who's aiding this, who's abetting this, who's letting it happen. And so we got to talk a little bit about the political power that police unions have. And again, this is something that we touched on yesterday. It's just the fact that you are going to obey politically the people who are closest to you and can put the most pressure on you. We talk about like fucking lobbyists. Oh, the lobbyist is going to dinner with the mayor. The police are with you every day. And if you are doing something that they don't like and you're a mayor or a district attorney, that is probably your closest interdepartmental professional relationship. So they can go in there and just fucking shit on you, right? They can go on Twitter and undermine you. They can talk about how you're endangering people. And whenever something goes wrong, because I mean, the police do have a function in society, they're going to lay that at your feet for any kind of reform. And when we go into detail, which we're going to do this hour, about some of the reforms that police unions use to, like, when they get their negotiation, basically, like, in exchange for not, like, pushing the pay up, especially when you're in an underdeveloped neighborhood, it's all this legal immunity. It's all this liability shit. And we're going to, like, get into it. The first thing to know is that this shit is a state-by-state situation. Every state has their own different laws for what the rules of engagement are for police officers. And there are campaigns that are in place that literally just talk about those state by state policies and researching them and promoting them to the public. So that means every state is going to have a different amount of distance. They're going to have a different way to go when meting out accountability and figuring out which police need to be held accountable and for what. If that like makes fucking sense. It is just different in every state. It's different in every situation. Our editors here. Ren, do you want to come on? Shake your head. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I didn't want you to be by yourself. I felt bad that you were doing this alone.
Oh, I can listen. Have you ever seen me talk? I just talk endlessly about anything. So you were doing some. However, this does give me the opportunity to like tweak with the screen and stuff because I can just make your head nice and big while I fiddle with things. So you were at a protest yesterday. I don't know how much you want to inform on yourself.
I didn't go.
Oh, do you want to talk about the emotional vibe of that or no?
I mean, the vibe is that like New York City is getting very dangerous every single day. Like you, if you go to New York City like during the day, it's going to be pretty peaceful. But as soon as it gets to like nighttime, you're going to be like in trouble. And I couldn't find anyone to go with me, and I knew that it would just be very dangerous to go alone, so I didn't go. But if I find someone to go with me, I will be going, and then we will do like some sort of stream for as long as my phone battery lasts while I'm there, and yeah, get some like on the ground stuff for that.
Yeah,
So
like
what are we?
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what are we talking about?
We're talking about police unions. Because when we talk about like what's the political blah blah blah, why is this shit happening? Well, like typically it's because those police don't get prosecuted because the laws have been stacked in such a one-sided way. I mean, these are just things that they negotiate with every 3 or 4 years with the city that they're in. So it's stuff that like if it takes you too many days to file a complaint, then it's out and the cop is fine. So whether your ass is laid up for a long time or if it's just a thorny, complicated situation and it's taking a long time, after a certain amount of time, it just drips out of the system. It's the evidence gathering process. You know, cops do not let you sit around when they pick you up and give you time to get your story together, right? This same shit applies here. They have like a fucking cool down period after incidents before they have to, you know, if you've ever seen one of those movies, go in there and talk to internal affairs or HR or whatever. Officers also get increased access to information. So that means the more that they know about what the cops know, the easier it is to get a story straight. Cities have to pay costs related to police misconduct. You know, we talk about ways to do police reform, and some of those things have mentioned like if there's a lawsuit, it comes out of the cop's pension, and it's probably not a great idea because it gives you even more incentive to cover shit up, you know, because then like not only are you like people beating your ass because you're a snitch, you're also taking money out of the pension fund, like because this guy obviously cracked this guy's head open in New York, whatever. Well, shit, we got to pay him. I guess we all lost money. Like, who's going to go along with that?
No one.
Absolutely no one. We're all trying to do our jobs and get the fuck out of there. It also prevents, you know, we talk about like, oh, the cop did something and then they go upstate, they go down the block, they go like 3 towns over, and you live in like New York State. All the towns, I've been in New England, they all just kind of like bunch onto each other. Like you drive 3 blocks and you
drive like, yeah, and you're in a new like, but also we have like a lot of cities or like precincts that like aren't real. Like you'll have like a city in your district that is not a real city. It just like exists for the zip code, but it has its own police department for whatever reason.
Yeah,
we don't know why.
You can slap somebody in Quahog and then you just get transferred to like Clam City, three cities.
Yeah, if you have like a police officer that did some shit in New York City, it's not uncommon for them to like get transferred up to where I live, which is literally like 45 minutes up. And then like, or if someone like, they just go up and up and up because upstate is red and it tolerates a little bit more police brutality.
Right. Wait, more than the NYPD?
Like, yeah, the NYPD is like super ruthless, but like you can get away with like, but it's in the public eye in New York City.
Right.
Like, so they just transfer you upstate where you will not be held accountable.
That seems incredible. Like I just figured the NYPD was just the tip top for this shit. So Albany, I'm gonna get my ass beat more than in NYC.
Maybe.
Wow, that's incredible. God damn. So if you go to checkthepolice.org/review, they've got all of this shit laid out. They went to 80 cities and they also looked at 15 states. So you can actually look and see what the criminal justice situation is like in your city. So if something like really sucks, you can just literally go, oh, wow, it's bad. And let me see if we can find any all out of, yeah, look at Austin. So that being a mess, Louisville, Newark, Vegas, San Antonio, Seattle.
Wow.
And you also see that some cities are in negotiations. You got to remember that police unions, they rotate. So everything comes up for grabs like every 3 or 4 years. And every three or 4 years, they have their negotiation with the city, which is the best possible time if you're somebody that cares about these issues, is to bust on them then, and not like after the contract signed and then they all take a deep breath and they're like, all right, let's crack some heads open. It's not good. It's not ideal. And we talked about like these unions have a huge amount of political leverage. And if you check out this Reuters article, we'll put it somewhere in the show notes. Damn it, we're not a real podcast, Ren. Like you are usually like, when we can get on air and I can be like show notes, and then Ren like goes and like, all right, let me go get the show notes. There's no show notes now, but
there's no show notes.
There's no show
just put it in the Twitch chat.
We'll put it in the tweet thread, we'll put it in the Twitch chat. We'll work it out. This is Reuters, and it talks about this kind of in depth. Let me go ahead and hit the comments. I know that there are people watching. They're very how to do this shit. They're tired. I want to see all this fucking brutality. Something wrong every damn. There's something wrong every other week that should be a national scandal, but we barely get a chance to pay attention to it, and that just sucks. Police unions are bad, everybody. So they target with ad campaigns. They donate to mayoral candidates. I think our friend Trey Bridgewater is actually doing a project in the state of Texas, going and talking about elected officials and candidates who have taken money from police unions. And it's often a staggering amount because, again, your relationship with the police union is kind of your closest professional relationship. And their number one concern outside of getting paid on time is like defending against stuff like this when it happens. Because, I mean, they're figuring if it's easy to get rid of a bad cop, it becomes easier to get rid of like a regular beat cop. So that's like the mutation of police unions into these very powerful negotiating forces. Some of them call, and we mentioned this earlier, to erase disciplinary records after 6 months. When I saw that, like my freaking head boggled. Like if you're in juvie, you're in high, like Ren, you're just got out of middle school, and you know,
oh my god,
if you're like drinking soda after school, and caffeinated beverages aren't allowed, and you get that on your permanent record, you know that stays on you when you go to high school, and it can keep you out of the gifted classes. Cops less enforcement than like you in 7th grade throwing spitballs at people. It's really disgusting.
I mean, imagine thinking that the bad things you do literally will go away in 6 months. Like I can't imagine that.
Like your driver's license has a longer like
expiration date, right? Yeah,
right. Then 6 months. Well, your record's clear. It's been 6 months. And we talked about this earlier. I'm not going to go through it again, but yeah, they get access to all of the information in the investigative file before they are interrogated. Now, if you're a police officer, you're an expert at getting your story straight because you literally study, like for your job, how to like, someone's lying. Here's the signs their story's not straight based on the evidence. So they give you, it's like a fucking open book test for police brutality. So unless there's a fucking video, which is why so many of these cases happen, and there's not even a debate about it unless, well, the video just caught you whipping this guy's ass. Short of that, it's no problem. It's no big deal. Caleb comes in and is just being rad, which is what we expect from Caleb_rad. Thank you for following us on Twitter. We do this roughly every day, Monday to Friday. We just chop it up for an hour and talk about usually shit that's not this depressing, dude. Like, it's just we're in such a fucked up situation, and our options are like we can either talk about fucking Gossip Girl for 45 minutes to take your mind off of it, which
we could talk about Gossip Girl for 45 minutes.
We could, Ren, if you just wanted to like play One Direction songs and I listen to them for the first time and give my impression, like that would be something that people would but like,
oh my god, I can't believe you spoiled our Patreon content.
Patrons, patreon.com/notsafe. We're doing amazing things. I don't know how to do. Ren, do you know any One Direction dances?
No. I don't know TikTok dances either. I'm a bad Gen Z, but yeah.
I was gonna say I thought every Zoomer knew like the dances. Not true.
No.
Okay.
I don't have TikTok.
Trade you in for a cool Zoomer that has a TikTok.
Well, we have Leia too, but she doesn't have TikTok either.
That's right. Actually, let's keep you, Leia, when you watch this. Here's spoiler, Leia won't watch this, so it's fine. We can threaten Leia. Leia, you're done. Coming for you. Where do cops live? Generally, cops don't want to live in the neighborhoods that they're policing, especially if it's a shitty neighborhood. You don't want to live there. It sucks. You know, one of the things in America that makes America suck is that all of the budget shit is local. So your amount of money that you have to spend completely like depends on what the property taxes are and what you're paying. It's like a mess because the worse the neighborhood is, the less resources there are. So right now, the number is 70%. 70% of cops live outside of the communities that they patrol. So it's better, although like ideally we don't have to deal with this shit at all. Oh, we just got a follow from you guys yesterday. Caleb, you're Australian now. Just got a follow from you guys yesterday. Solidarity. Love to all of you out of Des Moines. You're an Australian in Des Moines. Don't worry about it.
An Australian Iowan?
That's right, mate. That's not a slice of corn. This is a slice of corn.
I think you're getting Caleb confused with our other commenter, whose name I will not attempt to read.
Oh, this might be an actual Australian. El bien dotado. Hello, mates. Hello. Oh, governor. How you doing? Caleb, what's the state of the protest? I know a lot of your community is upset about the forest fire burnings. I'm glad that you're also able to say that Black Lives Matter. Marching tonight at 7:30. Protesters have been peaceful. Cops have not. I definitely understand that. Murasaki Kimono. I think that's a Cardi hit. I can't tell. You got these Twitch people in there.
That's not Cardi.
I can't tell.
I can't tell who it is, but it's not Cardi.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
That would be awesome if it was, though.
We need one for our chat. We'll work on it.
Yeah, we got to get custom emails.
I just assumed that we had a Cardi emote for the chat. Apparently not. But yeah, regulations determining where police actually are living in terms of their neighborhood. And also part of that is people who live in the hood don't want to join the police because like it's the police. Why the fuck would you? But however, it's a two-sided problem because then you have people who are from fucking Cobb busting heads and they go home, and that's not good either. Like many situations where there's no good answer, you know, that continues. Demilitarization is also like one of the key linchpins here. it turns out like when you give people all this elite operator shit, they want to use it. That's weird. Like, I know you're very young. Ren, have you just had that your whole life? Like the cops and the fucking tanks and shit? Because we did not have that when I was a kid. Are you like used to that?
I've never seen like military tanks in my city before. I think I've seen them once in the city.
We have like
prior to that.
We have extremely armored vehicles, I guess is the way to put it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just nuts. Those things get in the budgets, and unfortunately, it's hard to claw them back because all this shit is military surplus. And so police officers just were like, this is a great way to like add to our budget because there's more room. Like some of this hardware is cheaper just on the decommissioned federal budget. Andrea's here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm in the middle of a conversation. I totally forgot this was happening. I'm not gonna lie.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was asking if I can still pop on in the Twitter DMs, and I didn't get a response.
Oh, all right.
So I just clicked on the button. So now I'm just like, so I feel like I've just completely destroyed what's happening right now. What are we talking about?
That's your role.
No, I also just popped in without asking, so don't worry.
Beautiful. Awesome.
That's literally your role, and it adds spontaneity. Nobody knows what the fuck is happening on this show from minute to minute, which is fucking great.
Oh, fuck. Oh no.
Andrea, are you okay?
Yeah, my webcam fell.
Okay. I thought like a bee just attacked you.
Oh no, no bees?
A bee?
Okay. So, Andrew, you're a very big poster. You post all day, which is great.
As you can see, I've got my Doom 2 poster in the background. It's visualized. As well as my Bernie posters as well, also visualized. And my Antifa flag, which is not a poster, but it might as well be.
It might as well be. So we're just talking about like police unions and political means to reduce the overwhelming leverage that cops have over the system, which is one of the ways that mayors fucking kowtow to them so relentlessly. Obviously, there's like the Marxist thing of them being soldiers of capital and da 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 da. All that's true, but I also think this is a like more.
So are we doing the are we talking about like in the wonkery category here?
Yeah, kind of. Yes. We're just talking about things
like
that
within the current means?
Yes, exactly. What are the political demands that people should have now?
Personally,
abolishing fucking police.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with saying something like this is that we really don't know what the size and the scope of this is. Like, there's really just no way to know what's happening. But it's been happening for a week, which means that people have been planning for the current context for a week. Meaning that, like, really at any point, things could radically shift.
That's correct.
You know, so I really don't know about making some sort of wonkery judgment. I mean, I guess for starters, just like if anyone is ever involved with a shooting, just kick them off the force. Like, unless it's like, you know, like a good cop shooting, you know, one of those whatever meme, you know, like
a suicide by cop, obviously. But the problem is like the cops just say they're all good shoots.
That's okay.
So, it's so rare that they go in and they're like, hey, was this like an obviously bad shoot? I mean, the fact that we're still arguing the George Floyd stuff, and that was on tape, and they're like, yeah, it was a good shoot. What's the fucking problem? So
I would say making every police officer an elected official.
Oh my God. Hey, you know what?
Maybe. But we also know that like all of our elected officials never really do what we ask them to do.
That's true.
We would need some kind of like accountability for that. And I don't know if that's possible.
Caleb says this. Shouldn't the bare minimum demand be that the other three officers should be arrested? Listen,
No, actually, I disagree that should be the bare minimum. I think the bare minimum is that every single cop killer should be arrested. Personally,
let's go.
Like, I mean, like that's the thing is like we being just the populace have created a situation where there are nationwide protests. Like, just stopping at 4 people in this one specific city, I don't think that is enough. Like, I think every single cop killer or killer cop, cop killers, they're fine, they're okay, but killer cops, parody for legal purposes. This is what I would say if I were to say these things, but I'm not saying these things, and therefore this is not what I'm saying. However, killer cops, just get rid of them all. I don't know. Like, I just don't. Like, I read some statistic, and I have not fact checked this, and I'm literally about to do like the Dave Rubin thing, where I just read I saw it on Twitter, but
That's
like,
great.
It could be true. So many people are saying.
Many people are saying this.
But it was like something like 0.1% of police-related murders actually result in an arrested officer, and so like I don't know. Like, again, I haven't done the thorough diligence on there, so I could just be a fucking idiot. Yeah. But it's also possible I'm not. And if that is the case, or if it's even remotely close to that, make that number at least 69%, but preferably 100.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, any city that has a protest should have all the killer cops just gone.
Well, we generally have a legal process that decides when you've committed murder or not. So Twitch, El Bien Dotado is asking, well, what's the common sense category for off the force right now? No suspension, no pending. Is it just anything that's a homicide? Is it some standard evidence? Is it because there's a video? What's the standard?
Well, I mean, clearly, if there is video evidence, I mean, this motherfucker, like, come on, man. Like, that, like, I'm going to pull a page out of the Joe Biden book and say, come on, man. Like, but, I mean, in any situation where it's like, I guess, more fuzzy than that, really, I mean, independent investigations.
Yeah,
like, I was looking into the police person's I was going to say
there can be a civilian. Yeah. There can be a civilian panel that makes that immediately can make that decision based on the evidence that's at hand, whether there's a video or there's audio or there's a police report, and that civilian is not a lawyer, so it's not like they can convict the cop, but they could theoretically have the power to say, okay, this cop must sit on the bench for the entirety of this investigation, so that there's not a situation where the cop is just like on the force and out doing his thing, and then there has to just be so much outrage before the cop is even suspended or arrested.
Yeah, definitely.
Caleb then asks, well, who do you trust to do the investigation work? These guys always find a policing loophole. And mate, you're not wrong about that.
Is this an accent? Is this an inside joke that I'm unaware of?
Brandon is pretending that Caleb's Australian.
He lives in Iowa, but he is Australian.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
It just means he talks like this.
That's weird. Why do you talk like that?
I know. Really Caleb, stop talking like that. It's real weird, mate.
Really?
Come on, get there. But
yeah, okay. So if I were again to make like some small change to the current system, which personally, again, I would like to reiterate, I think the parameters here are much larger. I do think the parameters are much larger than something like this. But I would say something like we could make a task force, maybe with the families of all the people that have been murdered by police. Maybe if you want to limit it to people that have been murdered on tape, maybe like if you want to have some like means testy, like kind of cutoff here, and have them run like a panel, like based on like evaluating every one of these cases. And, it could take a certain amount of time. But I would say like one of those things that like if someone is involved in a shooting, police officers, they probably should just have a mandatory amount of time off. Like, I know that like it's like police culture where they like, oh, I got to get my therapy. I got to get that out of the way. And then they just like talk to someone in an office for 5 minutes and then they get the little signature, that should be like actually followed through upon.
Yeah. And Caleb, I don't think it's here's the thing: all systems are corrupt. That is the nature of systems. It's really a matter of putting the corruption into places that have relatively little power. So that civilian oversight board is not going to be as big of a linchpin for corruption as letting the union determine the terms every 4 years. Like that just seems more vulnerable to abuse. There are no laws that eliminate abuse. Like that's not how anything works. I mean, really, especially like if we're not talking about sweeping reforms that are just completely empty out the department. You're basically here to change big problems for little problems. So it's something that reduces the scale of this problem by having that civilian oversight, more so than like, we're going to fucking fix this shit, but hopefully fixing it in a way that is more fucking useful and tangible and really lowers the numbers as compared to, well, back in my day, we used to shoot them in the leg instead of the fucking chest, and they were limping a little bit, but that was street justice at the time. And part of that is like, this is what we're talking about when you got here, is that the cops all have armored vehicles, they all have gas, they all have riot armor, they all have this shit that's such military stuff that's been bought at like a flea market or a clearance sale, and the feds have no idea who has what. Every department's in charge of their own hiring, so they all just got all this elite operator shit that they don't need, and of course they're fucking itching to use it, because why wouldn't you be? You got all the good shit hanging out and it's just gathering dust. That shit's got to get reversed. The cops have got to just start having regular cop shit.
Yeah, like, first of all, I want to say that elections matter and to vote. Thank you. That is all.
Okay. Do you want us to full screen you for your sternness?
No, God, no. God, no. Do not do that. Do not do that. No. But yeah, like that's the thing, is where I think the parameters here are much larger. I really just like the whole chip away reform thing. I don't know. Where would you begin? I don't know.
Where would you begin?
I don't know. I think ransacking a police station, stealing other guns and riot gear, and setting it on fire until it explodes, I think that's a good start. I would like to continue down that road, personally.
There's just a lot of police departments, so we're going to need a lot of riots.
My thing, again, like, okay, so I am a full-blooded anarchist, and I want all of that shit. Now, again...
You guys are going to have to go through Trump. He's calling in the Marine Corps to protect like the 7th precinct.
Honestly,
9-9.
Okay, so I'm about to say something very stupid, but personally,
don't get us banned. This Twitter account is a very valuable source of traffic. So Minecraft.
Everything we're saying is we're doing it in Minecraft.
This is I wish I could just speak another language and then I like do the.
Don't worry, because everyone listening is very educated in subtext.
Very educated.
Yeah.
Very satire fluent.
All right.
But yeah, my thing is like my kind of position. If I were in a major city, this is like the whole if I were in a swing state kind of like mentality here. Except I'm actually in a swing state. But anyway, if I were in a major city, my whole position would be, if I'm going out in this situation, I am like, and again, be safe. You got to be a normal person. But if I were to go out into this situation, I would go out with the information that there's a very large chance that I'm going to die. Like, especially looking at the stuff that's going on in DC. You know what I mean? So it's like, my thing is I want to push the curtain as much as possible in a way that does not sully the message.
I think you've said quite enough. I think everybody knows enough. I think everybody knows where we're going here.
Yeah, right. I'm just, I'm going to talk about what I learned in 5th grade from DARE.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything that they taught me because I'm a weed addict and I just smoked before this and I don't remember anything. But I just think the word DARE is very important in what I'm about. Yeah, anyway, that's my opinion. But again, I don't know. I'm a crazy person, so.
Yeah, got it. eject these forces
Eject. Turn
from
it
your
off.
neighborhood.
Turn it off. You can cut
Yes.
me off at any point. By the way,
Yes,
I will only be offended until you bring me back on. So
that's perfectly fine. It's like having a dog, and like you just like grab the dog and throw the dog, and the dog's like, "Argh!" And you're like, come on, and the dog's like, okay.
personally, I do not grab and throw my dogs, but
You've never like just
I've never grabbed, nor have I thrown a dog.
Have you ever yeeted a dog?
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid that is untrue.
I have yeeted a dog, but I just like threw her onto a bed. It's not the same as like throwing her. Like you just kind of like toss her onto a bed so she's not hurt at all.
That's like the Democrat version.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But it's like literally like if the bed's here and you throw her like you're not that far away.
That is true. That is factual.
And then she enjoys it. So that is the Democrat version. If you throw her onto a bed from far away, that's the Democrat version. And then the Republican version is throwing her onto like a stone pavement or something.
Yeah, with liberals, it's all about consent. Once you have the dog's consent, you can just do anything as long as they're happy.
Did you ask the dog if you could throw her into an incinerator?
Oh my God. I would like to change the subject from incinerating dogs over to literally anything else. And no, when I say literally anything, I do not mean Joe Biden. Please stop taking that statement seriously. I'm getting tired of seeing these any functioning adult signs at this point in the game.
Yeah, no more any functioning adult. That's over with. So, okay, listen. I still had one or two things that I wanted to throw in here, but I feel like Andrew's just gonna say lib shit every time I say something. So let's just.
I might. I'm sorry. Is this a trend?
No, that's fine.
Okay, I will continue doing.
We're all here to keep it real on this show, so we've all got to keep it as real as possible. So listen, Caleb Brad says, thoughts on people posturing as though they're standing in solidarity, yet commending police for kneeling. Let's just talk about lib shit in general. All the local news has been so infuriating.
It's useless. It's fucking garbage.
If you've ever looked at any local news broadcast, they never show any footage from the protests, or they have like very carefully handpicked interviews about people talking about the power of peace. And man, when they got, oh my God, when they got George Floyd's brother out there, this is the average level of political education in communities now. Because George Floyd's brother was talking about the death penalty for these cops, right? And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's based. The death penalty, the victims standing up for themselves." And then he was like, "My brother was peaceful. I want peace. We're gonna vote." And I'm like, "Buddy, listen, voting. The voting is the reason why the shit is fucked up to begin with. Like, this is not a problem that's gonna fucking vote in blue no matter who. The fucking governor of your state's a Democrat. The fucking mayor of your state's a Democrat. You've got all the fucking votes that you could possibly want at this stage. It's not like there's somebody who's running on any of the shit that we're talking about for the last 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Nobody's like talking about, police union contracts.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, if you want to endorse a candidate, then tell me to fucking vote. And I don't mean to be rude to, family members. I'm just saying this in general to liberals in general.
Yeah.
If you want to give me a candidate in my community to vote for, then I will hear your argument. But until then, the election, if there's an election, is fucking 6 months from now, buddy. What are we going to do right now?
We do have, in my state, we've got early voting and shit that's up like right now. Ren, has New York voted yet?
Oh, that election's today. That's literally right now.
In New York?
No, I was asking Andrew, like, wait, our election's not today.
I'm pretty sure New York is today.
No, our primary is June 23rd.
Are you kidding me? Have I been missed?
Wait, are y'all both in New York State?
Oh, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh.
I saw some posts about it. Maybe
no, New York's not. There might. I don't know. Maybe there's a special election today, but I didn't think so.
Abaddon, we're gonna come back and we're gonna.
I guess I am just a fucking moron. Holy shit, man! I'm so
Abaddon,
sorry.
We're gonna come back and talk about photo ops and everybody fucking dabbing together before fucking the brutality continues. I voted for local elections an hour ago, so they are happening nationwide.
I think there's. I don't think it's New York. There's something going on today. Believe me. I swear to God, I'm not stupid.
No, I did see some state is having a vote today. I saw that too. I know you're not like lying or anything, but New York's is June 23rd. But people have been like, "Oh, you can just go out and vote, and like this will make everything better." It's like, first of all, our primaries aren't for another month, and general elections not for 6 months. So what are we gonna do like in the meantime? Like, and you don't tell me to go fucking phone bank for these candidates because I don't give a shit anymore. Like that might have been important a month ago, but now I don't care. So,
and also like a lot of these elections, there's nobody to vote for. Like
exactly,
there's nobody who's like even suggesting, oh, let's do this or this or that. It's not like
90% of them, like 99.
99.
Right? Like 99.9.
The amount of people who are running for like district attorney that actually want to like change the way that this shit runs is like very small. It's extreme. Like Janos Martin is somebody who we've had on a couple of times, and he is really running to like make reforms in Manhattan. Shea Bowden is somebody in San Francisco who is like a genuine reformer, and the cops hate his ass. Let me tell you, like if somebody comes up and stabs him, he might not have help coming, man. It's probably an underrated national story how much the cops in San Francisco hate that guy and how much
I would like more info.
Danger he's in. Oh, he's just the district attorney of San Francisco, and he's like not arresting people. Like under like $900 a crime or some kind of shit. So most property violations are not being prosecuted at all in San Francisco anymore. And the crime rate's been basically flat, but the cops are fucking furious because they're spending a lot of time on doing the arrests and shit. And he's like, yeah, stop doing that because I'm not fucking doing that. But anyway.
Yeah, but like that, I think the thing with voting is that they don't have to make this analysis.
Right.
To them, It's just, oh, I'll say vote, and that's my duty. Then I'll go back to brunch and watch fucking Real Housewives on Hulu. Like that's what these people do. Like they don't actually want to fucking have these in-depth analyses. They don't want to have like they don't want to watch like interviews of what people on the ground are really saying. They don't want to like read opinion pieces. They don't want to look at like normal people's Twitter timelines. They just want to say vote. I'll show a picture of the White House when I was there.
And oftentimes they'll just go to the polls and they just vote Democrat across the line. They don't even care who they're voting for. Yes. And it's like, what difference do you think you're making by doing that?
I just never understood this whole vote blue no matter who thing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, oh my God. There was that like 1 week period where that was like my favorite thing in the world because Bernie was in the lead. But outside of that, like, I just never got it. I never understood that mentality in a primary election. Like it was just always so frustrating. And I tried to ignore it the best I could. But man, I'm triggered right now. Like, what is vote blue no matter who when everyone is blue? What does that mean? Like, I literally, like, I cannot. One of my other things was then when people were like, Bernie should like leave the primaries. He's staying in and that's making people die because they have to vote for him. It's like, they don't understand that, like, it's not just a presidential primary on all these ballots, right? Like, who are these fucking Russian bots on Twitter.com saying Bernie Sanders should have dropped out earlier to stop the primaries from out? Like, what does that even mean? like why? I don't know. I hate liberals, man. I swear.
Listen, you're looking at all that footage of people getting fucking gassed, tased. In Atlanta, we had somebody that was just in their car, just kicking it, and the cops just literally like bust the window down and tase them through the window.
Like tase them and pull them out, right?
Yeah. Can you send me a video? I did 10 episodes of Above It All today. You'll be shocked. And you were so shocked that I did 5. I did 10 today. I'm gonna probably do like 20 tomorrow because there's so many videos. Like literally, I had a list, and when I was starting to make the list, there's like 20 fucking things I wanted to talk about. By the time I finished what I was doing today, the list did not shrink; it grew. Because in the result of me looking at like things to put on the list, I found like fucking 30 new things I want to talk about, and they're all equally important. What am I like? This is I swear to God, man. I'm getting
You're mapping human history. You're mapping human history right now because so much shit is happening this week. This will be in textbooks forever. So your live reaction will be just part of the historical record of an incredible time.
Like live reactions such as when Bernie won Nevada and I cried. Now you can go back and do a cringe comp.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's great.
Turns out that shit did not matter. Do we want to talk about Bernie getting screwed anymore? The brainwashing, the rigging, any of that?
I mean, I'm down to like spend 5 minutes on it. I spent fucking 2 years of my life for that campaign. I'll spend 5 minutes on an autopsy.
Sure. We all got to move. The people talking about Bernie unsuspend.
Oh God, no! Please tell them to stop. That is the liberal version of like people that actually have a conscience, right? Like most liberals are just psychopaths. We kind of have that understanding. They just lack a basic empathy and just don't care about people unless they're their family, right? But they just want to like postulate that. Oh, I'm not that bad. But like the kind of like the Bernie coalition, like for me, when Bernie first came along, I was just kind of like. I like the idea of having free healthcare because my life was destroyed from medical debt up until that point. But I was very apolitical up until then. And Bernie kind of brought me into the political sphere in 2016. And then ever since then, I've been learning about stuff. And I feel like a lot of people from 2016 to 2020 didn't like take in new information. And like, that's my problem with the Bernie coalition right now is we have a lot of people that like just, you know, like, and for all kinds of reasons, they just like Bernie is just so appealing that there's so many liberals that like still like, you know, of course, like, you know, they like voting, they have faith in these institutions,
right?
And Bernie is like the best candidate that we've ever had in in the history of this country, and right? Like, so it's like, of course, there's going to be that like Venn diagram of people that aren't like blow up everything. I'm an anarchist, but Bernie's okay too, I guess. Like the coalition included liberals that just wanted healthcare because obviously shit's fucked up. And I feel like there wasn't like, I feel like the Bernie campaign, when everyone was together, it felt really unifying. Right. But now that we're in this moment, there's that fracture again, where it's like a lot of people I've met on the Bernie campaign that when we're talking about Bernie, we're talking about electoral politics, we know our shit, right? But then when you try to bring that to like an outside of electoral context, there's a lot of people that just don't know anything. And I feel like they should have spent 20, and obviously, you know, we can't change the past, but if the autopsy, if I were to make one, is that we have to like study things that aren't purely electoral. And like Bernie unsuspending, that would be epic, right? Like that would be, and if he did that, I would support it. Like, what else am I going to do, right? But like, just to spend any energy on this in this moment we have that, like, who knows if these protests are going to last any like much longer? Who knows? It looks like it's still probably escalating. Who knows? It's hard to tell, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's so little reporting, and like the reporting that we have is so terrible, you know, so who knows? But
Andrew, do you find it weird that there was no reporting about what happened in Washington, D.C.? Like,
that's why I wish I was there. Like, can we organize? Okay, I will say this. I don't know how many people are watching. If anybody will bring me to Washington, D.C., I want to go there. I really want to cover that protest because like there's just like so much happening and there is no good source. There's no good consistent source. Like there's no one who's on the ground and just is streaming at all times.
No, because they're blacking that shit out. They're like not
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I want to go. Like, I would love to go. And I know it's super unsafe and I know no one's going to take me there. But if someone is carpooling along the eastern United States going north, hit me up, please.
Patreon.com/notsafe. If there's a $500 donation, we'll just assume that it's for Andrea and we'll give it to her. It's fine. Less or more.
We'll get you an Uber.
Give me an Uber up 5 hours.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, there's so much going on, and it's unfathomable to me. And this is the thought that I've had. Let me just finish my Bernie thing.
Oh yeah.
Get over it. Get over it. We lost. I know we got cheated. It sucks, but it happened. Okay, get over it. All right. Now that's my last thing. You can change the Chiron now.
No faith in institutions run by racists or corporations.
Yeah, fuck it.
Unfortunately, that's most institutions.
That's literally like 99%.
That's 99% of institutions that exist. Even if they're not directly run by a corporation, I mean, they're run by money. And it's easy to corrupt an organization with money, and that's one of the things that makes the police unions lapdogs of capital.
I mean, it's not even just like the directly political things. It's like our entire society has been corrupted by money. That like you're having like the Koch brothers like fund like random ass like paper towel brands or something,
Right.
and then like, oh, that mascot will like force some narrative, and it's like this shit is subliminal, man. Like unless you like have that understanding that the Koch brothers own everything, and like you know, like at least one of everything they've got like their fucking toes into. Like when you first realize that, it's like everything starts unraveling. You know, it's people really, I don't know.
Buzz, what is Zeitgeist moving forward? Are we talking about the YouTube series? And in the meanwhile, Caleb Brad, where do you suggest leftists get their news?
Okay, well, first of all, my YouTube channel.
Oh my!
I do a show called Above It All. I did 10 videos today. I might do 20 tomorrow. So I am, of course. I will also make a video on anything you tell me to. For the most part, I will also debate you and or have a conversation with you for an unlimited amount of time if you make it interesting.
Wow.
I have done 3-hour conversations with Trump supporters. Use that as your barometer for my patience.
I will not be doing that. Not safe.
I would suggest that to check out Not Safe for Wonks.
And Not Safe for Wonks is an institution that respects our own time.
This is the 1%.
Yes.
99% of institutions are horrendous. This is 1%. And I know all the 1% things we've told you over the past few years have been don't like the 1%, but in this instance, please like the 1%. Thank you. My joke is over. Go. Yeah, I saw you cringe. All right, go.
Click.
When it comes to news, I kind of believe in trying to find sources that are like have a professional budget, but are also kind of out of the mainstream. So McClatchy is a place where I get a lot of news from. Al Jazeera reports pretty accurately on stuff that happens outside of, Qatar, which is where all their money comes from. So they become like super biased in the wrong direction there. Find sources where they're commenting on news where it doesn't apply to their money. Like if BBC is reporting on something in the United States, they tend to be a lot fairer because they don't have a financial interest in it. Obviously, independent media is good for covering American news too because they have the familiarity and they don't have the financial interest in reporting like slanted information. Just saw you watching Majority Report. You just doing research, or you like Sam and the Gang? I haven't. I watch Majority Report on occasion, but I wouldn't say it's like something I watch all the time. Andrea, are you a Majority Report person?
I like the Majority Report. They're great. I watch every episode. I also don't have a job, so what the fuck else am I gonna do?
Ben Dixon, I like Ben Dixon.
He's good,
Trying to get Ben on the show. We've been planning.
If you get him on the show, can I be there too? I need to simp out here a little bit. If you get anyone who's I need to be there. That's just the rules.
I don't know who all is in chat, Murasaki Kimono. I don't have Caleb Brad's here, Buzz Thoughts is here, you're here.
No, they mean like a list of the news sources you're talking about.
Oh yeah, got you. Show notes.
Say him again, I'll type.
McClatchy. It's in Caleb Brad's on the Twitch, but McClatchy is a good credible source for information. Al Jazeera.
Majority Report.
BBC. Yeah, and Majority Report is also pretty tuned into like political shit that's happening. If you go through our feed, there's a Semelise Lopez gave a very big shout out to independent media that actually got us a lot of views / followers, and she shouted out a lot of people.
That's cool.
On Twitter, we'll find it and we'll post it on our Twitter. We'll bump that post. Would love to see you guys talk with Ben Dixon. Ben has been very into it. We're just working on like scheduling stuff. And Ben likes to go on small shows. Not that we're not a super small show, but we're off the ground level. Like we're a small to mid-sized show. Yep, these are all good choices for news. Also, I go to Reddit, which is a good content aggregator. And you can just find out what the top story is of like the hour or the day. if you just go to like Reddit politics and go, okay, here are the top stories by popular consent, you can kind of get an idea of what is popular, although they tend to be lib.
Same with Twitter.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like go to any of the people that you find knowledgeable and educational, entertaining, or whatever. Just go to who they follow on Twitter or other social media, and just browse. I don't know, I usually follow people I tend to agree with. I might not agree with them on everything, but I mean, I don't know. I tend not to follow people that I think are just bad sources of news. But yeah.
The other thing that you need to do, and that's not about watching news, go read some fucking books, because they're going to give you like a fucking institutional context for events that you see happening. Like the best thing you can do for like understanding the news media is read Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky, or at least watch the documentary, because you're going to understand bullshit that happens in the media a lot more, which will give you the ability to be critical of tropes and things like that are harmful. Caleb, have you heard of the podcast Citations Needed? Because I also consider that a critical media criticism podcast, and they're just literally a podcast about tropes, right-wing tropes that show up in centrist media. Love Noam. Wish he'd take a stand against Biden. Noam Chomsky is philosophically supports just voting for Democrats when your preferred candidate loses for a very long time. And there's one of the annoying things about current media culture is Noam Chomsky is completely blacked out of the media, except for 3 months out of every 4 years, because he has this one take that the media gets along with. So they're like, aren't you going to listen to Noam Chomsky? And it's like,
you guys like him, right?
Y'all like Noam Chomsky. It's like, y'all don't like him the other 4 times out of the year. So
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like Noam Chomsky's whole point, that my problem with that is it's so sinisterly used too, is they usually circulate these like 1 to 2 minute clips of him saying to just vote for the Democrat, and then take out all the other context of him explaining what the other way better options are. Direct action, knowing what the hell you're talking about, like knowing how to parse media online, like the more valuable pieces of the things that Noam talks about, they just like clip that and then that's gone. And then it's just like, well, yeah, if the options are fascist that's going to kill everybody and threatening to kill American citizens on Twitter versus some dumb motherfucker who doesn't even know how to read a teleprompter. I mean, like, I have an option there. I mean, I'll take the better option. That's me. But I'm also not going to say vote, and that's it.
Vote. Don't boo. People are getting tear gassed, and you have that voiceover of Obama over it as people are like going through the streets covering their faces. Don't boo. Don't cover your face. Go vote. Like,
it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I will vote, and I will vote for harm reduction, because I don't have this, like, another thing that lefties that like haven't done a serious analysis of society and class structure tend to have this like weird, like Jimmy Dore reactionary fucking cringy fucking thing. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna fucking, this accelerationist thing where it's like, I'm gonna vote for Trump to spite the Democrats because they personally made me mad. And it's like, dude,
First
like,
of all,
it's so embarrassing.
Voting for Trump doesn't change their power inside the Democratic Party at all.
It doesn't do anything.
It's all about the power of it's not about the power of the institution. It's about their power within the institution. If Trump gets reelected, they will be fine. They're just gonna fundraise. They're gonna write emails about Trump's latest weird, sassy reaction. They'll be fine. Is it too late for Biden to be replaced? Yes.
I disagree.
The DNC would say no.
The DNC can choose to replace him if they feel like they have a better winner than Biden. But everybody's that is on that list has extreme weaknesses. It's not like there's a universally beloved Democrat that is also acceptable to the donors. There is a really big gap between what the youth vote will tolerate, like youth being under 40, and what donors are willing to accept. So is it too late for Biden to be replaced? By us, yes. Like everybody who's tweeting, replace Biden now, Biden must go, hashtag, like none of that shit matters. They've beaten you. Like the people
That's
who are
what I'm saying. Like wasting time on replying to every tweet Joe Biden makes, or replying to every tweet Tom Perez makes, or Nancy. Like, I'm sorry, man. You can spend that time doing something better.
Yeah, go jack off, because it'll literally be fucking better.
Yes,
more worth your time.
That is factually superior.
Yeah, don't. So the people in charge have won. So you have no leverage against whether Biden is or isn't the nominee. They don't care. Meaningfully replace those seems a little late in the game. They can replace you. I mean, they can replace Biden and it'll be fine. Look at how fast history is going, man. Mike Bloomberg was like a serious contender to be president of the United States like 3 months ago.
Weeks or decades right now. When Mike Bloomberg was like hot shit, I felt like that was like a long time. But then I look back, I was like, oh, that was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally, right?
Time is going so fast right now. If Joe Biden gets on the news tomorrow and it's just like, yeah, man, my stomach hurts, can't be president, everybody be like, damn, that's crazy. And then we'll be talking about, weren't there race riots a week ago and now Joe Biden is out and we've got to get a new presidential. So yeah, we're in the zone now, baby. Like shit can just change at the drop of a hat. So yeah, the DNC can replace Biden. We cannot. So the decision is not in our hands. It's over.
Yeah. So just fucking who cares?
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Live your life.
We have more important things to do.
Correct. Why still have the two-party system? Why not? It's not like other countries that have multiple parties have better politics than us. Please. Why still have the two-party Dio Porco? Why still have the two-party system? Why not? Like everybody would like there to be multiple parties and for them to be in their own Bernie Sanders party that is more inclined with their beliefs. That's fine. And
am I allowed to talk about the Green Party?
Yeah, you're free to.
Yeah.
We've had Howie Hawkins on the show.
Have you really? Okay, that's cool. Actually, now my thing is
He's
again.
Our first
he was our first real good interview.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, my thing with the Green Party and the Libertarian Party, which I mean, honestly, I was more interested in Vermin Supreme than anything the Green Party has to offer. And I say this as a Jill Stein voter.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I think it's, again, another huge energy sucker is to, do all this work for the Bernie campaign and then have people go all right, let's go to Green. And I don't know. I feel like there was some consensus. And I think it's a weird, okay, this is weird. I'm going to make this weird analysis here. But I feel like the people that are really hardcore on Green, they're in this weird cross section between they're liberal enough to believe in voting in this kind of thing, but they're leftist enough to understand that the Democrats are basically fucking too far gone psychos. And but they're in this weird area where they're just they can't give up on elections yet. And so I don't know, man. I just
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Listen, the Green Party, what is your best case scenario? Is it getting 5%? It's not like the Green Party is going to create the revolution. Is not going to come from the fucking Green Party, y'all. There are minor third parties everywhere across the world that are left wing and have those politics, and sometimes they get 5%, sometimes they get 10%. The country's still a piece of shit.
It's about
the idea that you're going to be the right. It's about power.
This is why I hate this moral posturing bullshit. It's oh, I see you're going to vote for Biden. Well, I'm going to vote for Howie Hawkins, and this is why I'm better than you. It's bitch, what? First of all, voting is not a tattoo that's on your forehead for the rest of your life that every time you have an interaction with someone else, you have to explain it away.
It is on Twitter. It is on Twitter.
I don't know, man. I just hate this shit. I have if the Bernie fucking coalition were to have gotten its shit together in any fundamental way and didn't just as soon as he suspended, just fracture off into all these very predictable groups. By the way, this is very predictable. Oh, there's gonna be this faction that wastes their time on the Green Party. There's gonna be this faction that never votes again. This was all shit we experienced in 2016, and it really feels like deja vu in a lot of ways. And this is my problem: is we are moving really fast. And one of my things is I want to educate people in a way that steers them away from electoralism. Because like if someone's attention is onto me for 13 seconds or whatever, like just I'm scrolling or they're scrolling through Twitter and my video auto plays on Twitter when I do that or whatever, like I want that to have some sort of profound effect on them. And I really just like, I just can't fathom spending any amount of time, especially now in this last week, about electoral fucking politics. Even if it's like, Bernie, unsuspend, I'm gonna write you a mean Twitter letter. It's like, okay, that might feel good, but then like, can we do something more productive? And I'm not trying to be rude. I get it. Again, like I get people have this emotional despair. I was in this emotional despair. I quit politics for several years. By that I mean like 2 months. But like, I get it. But I mean like, we are in a different time from 2016 to now. Shit is way more important now than it was 4 years ago. Like at this time in the cycle, at least in my opinion.
So we have two clashing. Go ahead, Ren.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was going to say also like switching your vote to the Green Party at this stage in the game, or like begging for Bernie to come back. It's like, you have to know that like both of these entities like experience corruption. Like Bernie Sanders is not uncorruptible and neither is the Green Party, and it doesn't make you a moral voter to like vote for them instead of Joe Biden.
People don't know anything about the Green Party. They just saw the fucking Twitter gif that says Howie Hawkins, Medicare for all, Green New Deal, la 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 la. So they're good.
It's so cringy, man. It's so cringy. These people that go like, well, I just vote based on policy. And again, that's good. And I don't want to say anything too incendiary here.
You've already done it, but continue.
But I'm all leftist content creators. They're spreading a good message for the most part, and they're doing a good job a lot of the time. But man, oh man, am I really getting sick of these like straight white male leftist YouTube hosts talking about like, I'm not voting for Joe Biden and here's why. I'm going to make 13, 16-hour videos about this. And it's just like, man, it's such a distraction. It's such a distraction. Like if I had 500,000 YouTube subscribers, like I would not be making, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. Here's my 49-minute video about my 13 bullet point. Like, dude, bitch, you spent like hours plotting out this video and you could have used your 500,000. Again, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but you could use your platform
about protest safety or something like that. You could have done a fundraiser. You could have done like there's even if forgetting about civil rights shit going on. We're in the middle of the fucking COVID era too.
Yeah,
still got bills to pay. People still are getting laid off from their job, and the shit's getting worse every week.
And I also just want to say again, I appreciate all leftist media, and I do understand that when people get into a routine, it's very hard for them to change their routine. And there's a lot of people that have been doing lefty YouTube stuff since 2016 or earlier that haven't adapted to the current era that we're in.
That's correct.
And like, there's a lot of people that still talk as if people are having ideological debates in the battlefield of ideas. I'm sorry, that's not happening. There is no ideological debate where Dave Rubin comes onto the stage and has a light bulb moment and realizes he's wrong. We are in the post-truth era. So when you make these videos about Joe Biden is really bad, and I'm gonna and you're vote Green Party, and it's just like, come on.
It's just about giving people the tools to have arguments and discussions.
Exactly.
That's kind of valuable, but like a 50-minute video on that is not necessarily like super useful.
And that's the thing is like, I don't even mind making that video. Like, see, I cover a lot of, I'm still making Joe Biden videos when he makes these gaffes because they get thousands of views and I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to spend that 5 to 10 minute video mostly talking about why electoralism is a disaster and how to do direct action and how to get started and resources. I'm not going to spend that 5 to 10 minute video talking about, ooh, Joe Biden sharded and he doesn't support Medicare for all. And
people, well, listen, the views don't lie. People love to watch videos about how Joe Biden sharded.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I do.
I know. I want to read some Buzz Thoughts, G. Lazoir. We're going to come to y'all.
Read them all. Lightning round.
The worst outcome would be to let the baby in charge stay in while the inside fighting continues. Is that the worst outcome? Yeah, I think that's a pretty bad outcome. There's no best option. I think a lot of people are holding out for a best option when there ain't one.
Are we talking about the general election?
I think just for the general election.
Okay, I want to make
the baby stays in.
I want to make a 30-second
sure.
pitch. 30-second pitch to vote for Joe Biden.
Go for it.
Imagine the day Trump loses the election and you log on to twitter.com. I rest my case.
I mean, there will be a lot of people, but you will have to deal with like Neera Tandine being smug. So it's
I don't mind.
It's not a perfect day. Okay.
I don't mind. She's gonna be smug no matter what happens. I mean,
that's true.
So,
One party, 10 parties does not matter. Community should stand versus shit, and then government's trying to fix their shits into something good. Yeah, I don't. This is more my opinion. Buzz feels differently. We're going to read Buzz's comment right after this. But man, I don't think like third parties are a thing that is for extremely politically engaged nerds. Like all that shit with ranked choice voting, it's all fine. But man, like the idea that's implicit in all these discussions is that if there is an independent left-wing third party, that they will message their message directly to working people, will wake them up, will inspire them, and they will come to the polls en masse to support the left-wing third independent party, is a idea that is not backed up by anything in history.
Hello? I missed your passionate rant. I'm sorry.
Oh, just an independent left-wing third party has never just had good messaging and woke up the people. That's not like something that's ever happened. There are independent left-wing third parties all around the world, and they get like 10%.
And that's not bad, but like it doesn't expand upon it.
Right. But that's not power. Like your independent left-wing third party is not power. Power is media, security, weapons, like it's media, security, and education. So security being like an anodyne term for physical force. So unless you have institutions that do one of those three things, like you're not building the at every level institutional power, so that when, you know, we have right now with the police unions, there are so many breakpoints that allow them to keep the end point, the goal that they have. So it's our goal is to institute those kind of points at every level, whether it's the mayor's office, the DA, the governor, and outside political pressure. And there are also people with guns that will go to the state capitol and fucking knock your door down and fucking do a photo op, doing the fucking Serbian crouch in front of your door if you're doing something they don't like. Conservatives have done a very good job of having every kind of power that you can think of is actually in effect when there's a policy outcome they don't have. With the left, it's like we petition, we march, we don't boo, vote, and that's it. So, and there are some people trying to do like mutual aid, but like, listen, right wingers don't do all that shit to build power. They're not like going and doing food deliveries and shit to their fucking old churchgoers, like, because that's not where like community solidarity is great, but that's not.
Well, I will say, you can turn that into
power.
But oftentimes people do not do that. They will be nice, which is great.
Right.
Volunteering and doing all this stuff to help people in need is awesome.
Right.
But like this is why having like a very finely tuned political education is good, because like that, like you can turn that into a very powerful thing that has a real world effect outside of that direct situation.
Right.
But a lot of people aren't doing that.
The Black Panthers have done that during the 70s and somewhat during the 80s. The Nation of Islam has done that uninterrupted for many, many years. And that is why, despite the Nation of Islam having like bad behavior, it's hard to find people in the Black community that like will get on a soapbox and yell at the Nation of Islam, because they have so much community service that somebody who's in your neighborhood will be like, leave them alone. They sell pies and feed people and get people out of jail and all this other kind of shit. So, Buzz thoughts, different frame. Causality and correlation are two different things when it comes to parties in other countries. Is this a causality and correlation issue? Just because there aren't third parties that are very successful doesn't mean that there cannot be, I guess is what Buzz is saying. I don't know if America is unique in this, because we had Bernie Sanders who ran like he's very popular. He ran a working class campaign. You literally, there's nothing you can say to criticize Bernie Sanders to say he didn't run a working class campaign enough, unless you're Michael Tracy. And his preferred candidate got like 1% everywhere. It's not like Michael Tracy's got a finger on the button with any of this shit.
Hate that guy? Holy shit.
Of all of the bad take left-wing Twitter, I think Michael Tracy's the worst one.
Oh, like utterly just like devoid. Like at this point, he's just Tim Pool. Like it's just like there is literally like you could do like one of those things where you take out the profile identifiers and just have the text and then go like who said this, and I guarantee you like 99% would say like Tim Pool, but in reality it's like all Michael Tracy. Like I guarantee you could do that.
Yeah, he's a bad take machine.
I hope the money's good.
The money, I don't think the money's good. I don't know if the money's good for anybody in left-wing media. I mean,
well, right wing. I mean, like he's. Come on, who are we kidding at this point? I mean, I don't know, man.
You're not wrong.
That is,
So, we've talked for an hour and a half, basically. An hour 15.
I got here a little late.
Yeah.
So I don't know about we.
It's okay. When you're on a group project with us, you get equal credit, even if you put in half the work.
So if I were to show up now,
yes,
and then like plug my Patreon and then leave, I would get credit for the whole show?
Yes. This is a great scam. This is a great
I will actually keep this in mind.
Yeah.
I will conveniently forget that we scheduled this every single time.
God.
In my defense, I think I did tell you to remind me.
I reminded you by sending you a DM. I don't have your phone number. How else would I remind you rather than sending you a DM?
Well, let me establish something.
What happened was
that whatever you're about to say is less important than what I'm about to say. When I say remind me, that basically means you need to tell me at least 12 times because chances are I forgot by that point.
Oh my God.
That's all my bad. I'm gonna try to be more I'm gonna be more attentive. But I'm a piece of shit, man. I'm sorry.
This is inside baseball. This is all like branding and how we run shit. So I got a course from somebody. I'm not gonna plug them unless I'm being paid to, and I'm not. From a
shit. They're being snubbed. Someone put in this hard work to educate you, and you're fucking them over right now.
That's a good ass point. They have an affiliate program, so I don't want to plug them unless I'm selling them, and there's a link that I can like go buy this. So I don't want to do that. Also, I think
we'll just go get that link real quick.
Oh my God.
I will filibuster. You get it set up. All right,
no, because there's you got to join a program and shit.
Oh, so no programs?
But anyway, affiliate marketing is very weird and complicated. You got to like register and sign up to be an affiliate and And also,
I've got stories. I've done some marketing.
Oh yeah, you were like in the real Twitch world of.
Oh
yeah. So
I could go hours, man. Go on though.
So I invested in a podcast course, and they do a very good job of like making a quickly assembled professional podcast in terms of like logo and video and audio and editing and all this other bullshit.
All the worthless shit that actually ends up mattering the most because of the world we live in.
Exactly. Yes. Goddamn. Your brain is correct. That's true. Yeah, so I was just on a course talking about all of that shit, and I've lost my actual point of what I learned from the course that applies to this conversation, but whatever.
It could have been good. It would have maybe been good.
Could have, maybe. So yeah, we've done this for an hour and a half. And Andrea, you do a great job of just running through any subject and just talking and filibustering.
Oh,
it's your one skill.
You don't. Whoa, I've got many skills. Believe me. Anyway, yes, I could do again. If you want to do a 37-hour show, I will do 36 of those hours.
So this is more inside baseball for our listeners. We have recorded 100 episodes. They're not all out yet. They're not all finished. They're not all but we are working on our 100th episode. And it's going to be a very long episode, and it's going to be very special. So you're definitely invited to show in for that telethon formatted 100th episode. And we'll do something special. It'll be very big.
Are you making me edit a super long?
No,
episode?
it's not going to be. Ooh, that's a good. No, we'll something. I don't know what we're going to do for that.
And by we, of course, you mean everyone except for me in this
Right,
context, because you're
of
just
course.
making plans that you have no intent on actually even like assisting in fulfilling. You just want to make these plans and then walk
Yeah,
off and then do whatever.
Listen, yes, as a leader, that is my job, is to say, team, we're doing this, and then just leave the room.
You're like Bernie Sanders. You made a task force.
Exactly.
And you're not on the task force, because why would you be on the task force? You could go play Minecraft. You know, like
exactly. Rin is a big Minecrafter, so
the second task force is for playing Minecraft.
Yeah, I would have to make.
I have a Minecraft pillow.
Oh my god!
Literally, it's right here.
Oh
this
my
was
god!
$15 at Walmart.
Incredible.
God bless.
That is dope. Can we zoom for that? All right,
Oh
we're
god,
doing
no!
it.
Oh god.
Your face is covered. It's fine. All right. Love that pixel quality. That's incredible. We can get you hiding in live fucking stream. That's incredible.
Are people still watching this? What the
The
fuck?
viewership has gone up.
Get
People-
out. Leave. Turn
people-
this off.
People love us just talking about like how the
Yo,
show
there's
is
a
run.
giant bee at my window. Holy shit. Okay, what am I?
Yeah, people love just us talking about what we're gonna
Just
do.
random
So,
bullshit. Yeah.
100
I'll actually say this is again like I'm pissed. Like I'm actually enraged right now. I do this whole thing. I worry. I see Twitter. I see I got a message, an inadequate reminder. It was not soon enough. I did not get the reminder at a well placed moment, and I'm worried. I come on here and then I give this emergency, brilliant, highly intellectual commentary. And then now that I'm at the end, my wit's end, I can't even think of anything else at this point. I am dry, I am washed up, and also dry. And in this moment, now people are finally paying attention.
We
honestly.
don't even know about your dryness. I thought you were gonna...
I've used all of my material.
Okay.
This is no material. There is nothing left. It is a wasteland of political ingenuity. Is that a word? Did I use that right?
I don't. It's a word. I don't know if you used it right though.
I'm trying my best. Yo, digging this pillow out of my whole pillow for it kind of ruined my back support.
Bye, guys. Y'all seem on the level. I don't think I have all the answers, but something is off.
What does that mean?
I think Buzz was just talking about the party system. The party system sucks, but the Republicans have power isn't because the Republicans are good at elections. They're terrible at elections. Nobody likes
just cheat.
They have the power to cheat. They have institutional power. And the left has got to like build that institutional power on like no budget.
That's the thing is, I just want to. Can we turn this into a fuck Obama live stream? Can we just get that on the Chiron?
You can.
Fuck Obama, man. All right, what's up?
Before you do that, I just want to say, like, you realize if you were right wing, you would have like 500,000 followers right now.
I know, man. What the hell?
Do we ever think about how we could be like incredible right wing grifters?
Oh, I think about it every day.
Yeah.
I've actually got a plan going, but I'm not going to talk about that. When Donald Trump wins that re-election, when Donald
Trump wins the re-election, we all agreed when the show started that we would have a big meeting after the election and decide whether we wanted to continue the show and how and in what form. I probably will continue the show just because like it's been really successful, but sometimes I think, you know who's got a good gig? Fucking Lindsay Ellis. She does fucking YouTube video essays and she just talks about fucking Star Wars for like an hour every month. And I mean, that does take time. You got to write a script and get videos together and shit like that. But it seems like a much more mentally healthy thing than just like Donald Trump is gassing people and holding a Bible. And I have to talk about that shit for half an hour.
No. That mentality, that's what fucked us up, buddy. I'm putting you on blast right now.
That's true. No
one learned anything after Bernie lost. And then he tried again, and no one learned anything, so he lost.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, about the fuck Obama thing. Obama, in my opinion, is like of historical importance that campaign was. And I'm going purely, I was a little person. I was very young. did not even look at the TV. I didn't even have a TV. I did have a TV, but I was watching Scooby-Doo. I did not know anything about what was going on in 2008 because I'm young. I might not be as old as potentially people in this live stream, but I'm young. I'm only 24. My birthday was the other day.
Good Lord.
Actually, my birthday present was seeing DC on fire. Personally, it's the best birthday I've ever had. But Obama was such a everyone put all their energy into that campaign, from what I understand, and then they got nothing out of it. Like literally. Like that is one of the biggest scams in fucking electoral history was the Barack Obama thing. And then he did nothing. And then he lost like thousands of seats in state legislatures and just like distracted everybody from building actual power and tried and worked as much as he could to actually prevent that power from even being built in the first place. So it's like, I don't know, man, that is a huge scam. I can't imagine being scammed that big.
Obama's no better
I'm
or
a
worse
Bernie
than the
supporter.
other president. He's par for the course. Obama had a few areas in which he was good. He was not as bad on civil rights as any other president.
The bar is so low, though.
You can have a little civil rights as a treat.
If you were to talk about things that Obama did, like, well, it's not like a huge amount. Military, though, man. Military good, military bad. I mean, was he more or less of a, like, when you say military policy, I guess it was maybe slightly better on active soldiers. But, like, if you say military, like, death toll, I mean, he had slightly more discretion with drones than Trump. It's not really great.
And that's the problem here. This is what I hate about the fucking liberals. Like these people that like, oh God, I'm about to fucking make myself really upset. But these people that like post like, I miss having a real president. Like, bitch, how have you been in politics for 30 or 40, 50 years? And you fucking like, what the fuck, man? Like,
politics is completely aesthetic for most people. Especially once you hit that like $70,000 a year mark. All this shit is about vibes. It's not about politics.
Sports. You might as well be a fucking football writer. Jesus Christ.
Which, I mean, look, part of anybody who's interested in like political power should be thinking about like, yes, this is a spiritual matter for most people. This is not most, but a large amount of people. This is about vibes. And yeah, Obama was very good at appealing to people's sense of vibes. And Bernie is very disdainful of vibe-based politics.
He's so shouty. Oh.
Yes.
You know, my ex-boyfriend used to shout. Oh. God, I
bet you, because you ran during the campaign, you had above it all, you probably have like 20 videos just about like disingenuous liberal tweets.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
You probably had an entire genre of.
I do. If I were to have categorized it in that fashion, it would probably be if you were to manufacture a pie chart based on the content that I cover, that would be a relatively sizable chunk of the pie.
Caleb Rad, LMAO, who's the next good vibes president?
Marianne Williamson. I'm glad we're on the same page. Not like that's a no-brainer. She was always my number two because I always said people used to ask me, "Who's your number two?" My first answer would be, number two doesn't exist. Come on, man, get serious. And then my second answer would be Marianne Williamson. Could you? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do this. Can you imagine? Like, there were people out there that built these like tier lists, and they did it completely unironically. It's like Beto, you know, he's an A tier candidate, not as good. It's like there were literally human beings that that did these like hour long analyses of like fucking. Well, Beto's got a nice jawline. Like, it's like, dude, what the fuck, man?
I want to see. No, I don't. Never mind. I was gonna say I want to see one of those videos. No, I don't.
No, you don't. I mean, like Chris Cillizza did the best, I think, iterations of those. It's like,
who's S tier for Chris Cillizza? Does Chris?
I think it was like Kamala Harris and Beto were his two number ones going in. Like, so stupid. Like, that's the thing is like looking at Chris Cillizza's career. I don't see how that does. Like, I don't see how you cannot be a communist after looking at fucking Chris Cillizza's career in journalism. I don't see how that cannot completely break down all of your faith in institutional fucking. Yeah. I just don't get it. I really don't. And this is something I say often. If you're not a communist or any of these far left meme buzzwords at this point in history, I mean, man, you gotta, like, I don't know. There's a place for books and stuff, but like, you gotta, like, I don't know. You're in this other universe that no one else is in, and I don't know, man.
Get it together. Get it together. Okay, listen. You've gone overtime. You've done it all. You're a hero.
Who are you talking to?
You've won the game.
What game? I didn't win any game.
You've won. You're a winner. We'll be sending you a $3.50 Amazon gift card in the mail. Shipment to North Carolina. Listen, we got to go based on what the Patreons give us, and it's not as much as we'd like. So there we go.
I think, did the Patreon paycheck come in? I think that comes soon.
Yes, that actually does come today, tomorrow, soon.
Something,
Yeah.
So if
that-
you want to help
phone
us
bill.
give Andrea a $3.50 Amazon gift card, please subscribe to our Patreon.
That's right.
Patreon.com/notsafe.
Patreon.com/notsafe. We have a
Or
great URL.
You can cut out the middleman.
No,
and-
no, don't do that.
No, this is about them sponsoring our generosity to you.
Patreon.com/notsafe and nowhere else. Okay.
You caught me. I was having a moment. I was melting down. There were tears in my eyes.
I know. I wanted to capture your meltdown.
Can you see me melting down? Like, am I like grayed out? Like on my screen, I'm like
Yes.
grayed out at the bottom. So you
Yes,
can like
that's-
see me
Yeah,
having a meltdown with.
Yes.
You can't hear me though.
Correct.
But like you could visualize that as you're fucking me over, you see I'm literally in
That's
tears.
right. We shouldn't have brought you back. That would have been funny.
That would have been funny for you, except
Yeah.
not for me, because I would have been traumatized.
Yeah, but
So?
you would be back. You know.
I would be back. Yeah, I would. Always, of course.
So tomorrow we're doing propaganda.
So this is tomorrow.
Can we talk about Paw Patrol?
Yes,
Yes.
we're literally going to talk about cop-related TV shows, and we'll just debate how much they are or aren't propaganda.
Can we talk about
I wanna be
Dexter?
here for that.
Yeah, we can do Dexter. We can do Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We can just do whatever.
I like Dexter. Good
Yeah.
idea.
All right.
I'm just saying, this is a parody channel.
Dexter. Here's the thing. Dexter isn't propaganda because the cops are the most incompetent cops you've ever seen. Miami.
Yeah, I just want to talk about how good of an idea it is if this were a parody channel, which it is clearly not. So, but it's a pretty. I mean, it's a good show.
We used to actually be a parody channel. We had like extended bits about like Mike Gravel is radicalized and he's making a militia in the Alaskan tundra and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be epic.
We used to do
I
like
remember
total joke bits, but I think when we started doing interviews, we just like got bored with it. Or
I said this last time. Any bit, I will do any bit or a bite. I will take a bite of a bit live on stream.
oh my god. So all right, so the Minecraft blanket, is that a bit or is that real?
That is a pillow. Thank you very much. That is neither a bit nor a bite. That is a
Bite it.
pillow.
Okay. With enough money for Patreon, we can get any of us to do anything. We're complete slaves. We have no.
I have once eaten an entire banana with the peel and the sticker for $50. So I just
Yeah,
want
I
like
do
my.
That's a
You
great deal. You have no. We don't
Yeah.
need dignity in the content game. Forget about it.
Yeah, I've been there. It was not fun, by the way. Trust me.
No, I can imagine.
Rin, you'll never leave this channel. Rin, you'll never
Yeah.
leave. Yeah.
No, I will die right here on the live stream.
Die right here on the stream.
I will not die right here on the live stream. I'm sorry. I'd
And-
rather die somewhere like in a protest or something. I don't know. If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be in a way that's actually like gonna cause some martyrism. I'm not gonna like just pop dead on a fucking live stream that fucking like I don't know. Fucking,
Yeah, that'll really radicalize people. Oh
Yeah.
my fourth favorite YouTuber has died. in a
honestly, I'll take number 4. I will
That's-
take number 4.
Hey, look, fourth favorite. YouTube's a big place. If you're number 4, that's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's like that. You know, that's up there.
But you know, if you die in a protest, by all means, just tell your viewers, just come over
I'll
here.
take a selfie afterward. Don't worry.
I would love that. I would love that. So
I would be the kind of person that would be like bludgeoned on the ground and take a selfie and post it. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, if you've got 10 seconds left on this planet, honestly, that's pretty badass, right? Like,
It is.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Andrea Ravinsky, you've been
That's
here.
my
you've
full
done it.
name. Thank you for
That's your
doxing
full
me.
name.
I appreciate
You're welcome. That's our job. That's what we're here for. Make life harder for all of our guests.
I've already been spotted. It can't get worse. Don't worry.
Oh my God. Like, should we be hanging around with you? Are you going to get
No.
us?
No,
Oh,
yeah, no, I told you this is bad news.
oh,
It's too late
man.
though, so you might as well just keep doing it. It's too late.
All right. That's great. We're screwed. The crackdown continues. Thank y'all for watching, especially all of y'all that watched after 5. Like, our viewership was the same, went up. Like, what's happening? I think it's just a sign that we need to stream longer. We can just do like 8-hour streams.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. You don't want to stream longer, okay?
Okay.
You want to make people crave that shit.
Oh,
You want to
okay.
tease them. Because if you stream for 8 hours, I got news for you. You're going to waste your fucking day. If you stream for like 5 hours and then say, give me money on Patreon, then you get the extra 2.
This is smart. This
Right.
is smart. This is why we have you in the crew. Big business is happening. Love it.
Big,
All right.
tremendous.
Absolutely. So thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back here at 4. We're going to talk about propaganda tomorrow. It'll be like probably maybe not even quite an hour. It'll be a little bit shorter. We'll just kick it.
Oh, it will be much longer. If I am there, it will be much longer than
No,
that.
God. We'll have an interview at 6, so it'll be kind of a mess. But listen,
Okay. Who are y'all
Kennedy,
interviewing?
that's a good question.
I'm totally ruining your outro, by the way. Like, I'm so sorry.
You totally are. But it's actually fine. Tomorrow we are doing, I believe, a Senate candidate in New Jersey, Lawrence Ham.
That's
He is
cool.
running a primary against Cory Booker for United States Senate, and he's a very fiery personality.
I will be sure not to fuck that up and leave beforehand.
We'll be here. It'll all be good. So, Copaganda tomorrow. Bring your favorite cop stories, and we'll hang out for like an hour. It'll be fun. Kennedy was out, by the way. Their internet was just not happening. There was a power outage last night in Albuquerque. So
Yeah.
It is what it is. They'll be back tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Uh,
I really hate these like